The King County Council voted today finalizing the makeup of a new unit focused on internal oversight. The county is spending nearly $2 million of its $431 million budget to address and prevent potential fraud, waste, and abuse of taxpayer dollars. The funds will hire more workers tasked with catching and preventing problems with county funds and contracts, including a new division of Inspector General. The move follows some damning audits that revealed financial mismanagement and potential fraud. An audit discovered the Department of Community and Human Services failed to oversee contracts of 4 youth programs. For example, not catching grantees that altered invoices and also gave money to unapproved subcontractors. A separate audit dropped a bombshell with $13 million unaccounted for at the King County Regional Homelessness Authority. I spoke with Councilmember Claudia Balducci about why she believes an Inspector General will make a difference. How do you think the Inspector General position is going to help with that?
So this is a proposal that we have yet to vote on, but we voted on some funding for additional resources. One thing we found last year, there was a lot of reporting about an audit of our human services function. There's been some audits of our homelessness function. And when we find that there are concerns about what people like to call fraud, waste, and abuse, there isn't really a function within King County that is dedicated to addressing those findings exactly. We have had to go out, on the rare occasions when it happens, we've had to go out and hire outside lawyers, outside consultants to investigate. This would formalize that function within King County so that the auditor can do their job. They find problems, they make recommendations. But if there is fraud or waste or abuse, there is an organization now of a few people that it is their job and their expertise to get to the bottom of it.
And when you say getting to the bottom of it, I think some of the questions I've had from the public ever since these stories came out was they want people to be held accountable and not just to be put under the rug and say, okay, let's just move on. There's maybe potential fraud and not get any final answers. Do you think that that will help with that?
That is the goal, absolutely. And we hear exactly the same thing. I hear from constituents all the time. They want, the voters are very generous in King County. They vote for all kinds of programs to help people in need. We want to make sure the money is getting to people in need and helping them, and it can't do that if it's being misused. And so absolutely the goal of this new function will be to hold people accountable and make sure that we reckon with problems when they occur. By the way, that is the very far end of the spectrum of dealing with good government, is responding when there's been fraud. We want to also invest up front so that there isn't fraud, so people are properly trained, so contracts are properly managed, and therefore we get the impact that people want to see from all those investments we make in youth and families and people's food services and homeless services and all the things that King County is tasked with doing.
Is there room to do more widespread audits of these programs so we know that they're buttoned up?
This was so surprising to me. When we first got that initial audit back that had looked at just a handful of contracts, I started asking, and others too started asking, when are we going to look at all the contracts? When is that happening? And one thing we found was nobody really saw it as their job within King County to then go look at all the contracts. The auditor wanted to move on to other programs. We found some problems. We made some recommendations. The ombuds really only responds to complaints. So part of having an Inspector General is to have resources to do just that.
Balducci says she expects the new division of Inspector General to be up and running by next year. It would also come with a 1-800 hotline so people can report potential fraud, waste, and abuse. Tomorrow, Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is expected to announce proposed legislation to eliminate rental junk fees. In a release, the mayor's office says in part that the hidden fees makes comparing homes nearly impossible and pushes already rent-burdened households closer to instability. Mayor Wilson will announce the legislation tomorrow at Seattle City Hall at 12:45.